walkout, walkout, stall, stall, non-essential, non-essential, demonstration, demonstration, burnout, burnout. More than 75,000 Kaiser Permanente workers began striking Wednesday morning in the largest U.S. healthcare walkout in history. The three-day action could stall services for almost 13 million people in at least half a dozen states and is expected to shut down non-essential services. Kaiser Permanente is one of America's largest healthcare providers, operating 39 hospitals nationwide. The strike further expands a months-long series of labor demonstrations across the U.S., most recently in Hollywood, and most famously among auto workers. The issues at the heart of this latest strike are pay and staffing, with the union arguing there are not enough workers to handle patient care. Since the pandemic, the number of healthcare vacancies has soared as burned-out workers quit. Compound, compound. Laureate, laureate. Oppression, oppression. Project, project. Resilient, resilient. Streak, streak. Palestinian militants launched the biggest attack in years, sending fighters over the border from Gaza and firing thousands of rockets. The Israeli military responded with strikes against 17 military compounds and locations. The attacks killed 22 and injured hundreds, Israel says. Narges Mohammadi, an Iranian activist who is serving a 10-year sentence in an Iranian prison, was named this year's laureate for her fight against the oppression of women in Iran and her fight to promote human rights and freedom for all. American employers added 336,000 jobs last month, according to government data released today. The increase was almost double what economists projected, signaling once again that the labor market and the broader U.S. economy is surprisingly resilient. The unemployment rate remained under 4% for the 22nd consecutive month, a streak not achieved since the late 1960s. Assault, assault. Condemn, condemn. Terrorism, terrorism. Sheer, sheer. Complicit, complicit. Divert, divert. Bolster, bolster. The unprecedented cross-border assault by Hamas militants over the weekend killed more than 1,000 people in Israel, including at least 14 Americans. Biden condemned Hamas's attack on Israel, saying this is terrorism, and that Israel has a right to respond to this act of sheer evil. The combined death toll after a few days of conflict has reportedly neared 2,000, as Israel prepares for a likely ground invasion of the Gaza Strip. Biden's national security advisor, meanwhile, accused Iran of being complicit in Hamas's attack. Israel's request for additional U.S. military aid may divert Washington weapons and focus from Ukraine, all while oil's rising price bolsters Russia's economy. Though the U.S. is seeking to reassure allies that it can help supply two wars at once, it's becoming clearer that the Kremlin may benefit from the conflict. Rage, rage. Harsh, harsh. Spotlight, spotlight. Oust, oust. Strident, strident. Float, float. As the war rages, it also put a harsh spotlight on a leaderless U.S. House of Representatives. Far-right Republicans, who ousted their own leader, Kevin McCarthy, for avoiding a government shutdown, will likely be key players in choosing between two strident conservatives, number 2 House Republican Steve Scalise of Louisiana and Jim Jordan of Ohio, in a vote on Wednesday. But yesterday, McCarthy even floated the possibility that he might be open to return. By all estimations, the GOP isn't much closer on making a decision.